We're in control, right? Grab the steering wheel, press the accelerator, take the corkscrew turn at full speed. We have the power, don't we? The track will yield its fateless asphalt demure to the ripping rubber of our wheels streaking with destiny. Thy will be done. Thy will be done. The great and beautiful Lord's Prayer presents a very different vision of will. Whether or not we can assert our will and make something happen doesn't seem to be the full picture. The prayer suggests we submit to a higher will, one that in its infinite unfolding knows what's best, its directives far above our knowing or understanding. You know, some might argue this sort of thing is a cop-out, a romantic notion that throws away our ability to direct our destiny and claim the prize we pursue. I tend to differ. Enough of what we are observing more and more in the complex patterns of nature and our nascent understandings from exciting new scientific disciplines wreaks havoc at the edges of what for the last couple of hundred years has been a purely materialist view of the universe. In the spirit of playing with ideas and suspending any of our dominant viewpoints, take a trip down memory lane with me. In my life, I can recall experiences that hint at this odd dance of will working in our lives. One of my first successes in fencing came on the heels of a complete failure. I had all my eggs in this one basket. All the training time and preparation amounted to nothing when at the tender age of 14, I stepped off the disappointing cliff of failure. I had just bombed out in my main event. Now, the next 2 days of competitions, in events completely unrelated to my goals, I performed flawlessly. I found myself crowned the under-16 national champion in épée, second in the under-20 championship, and on the U.S. team. Trust me when I admit with full disclosure of possessing a healthy ego and a relatively successful fencing career after this occurrence, that I had no right to achieve these results. It was as if something or someone was turning the lights on the score box. This is only one example. I don't know about your life, but mine is littered with such stories. Some are unbelievable examples of things appearing out of nowhere, diverting my apparently wandering laser focus in new directions. And then there are also plenty of examples when I was just about to grab the brass ring of a prize that was rightfully mine, and it was snatched out of my hands. Be honest, can you not think of similar dynamics operating in your life? What then does this mean in terms of the large organizational structures we steer like behemoth destroyer ships through the stealth of night? How does the will of our efforts and intentions play out in this arena? I won't pretend to have a smug answer. I will offer an image and metaphor that might provide us with some good food for discussion. Hot air balloons are gorgeous. I've never been on one. Hope to put a check mark next to that one soon. But I'm taken by their bright, bold colors lighting up the sky, gently reaching into the clouds with the aspirations of prodigious birds without wings. The balloons seem so fragile, and while there are mechanical and physical principles operating to sustain their flights of fancy, there is something unwillingly willful about how they move through the sky, at the mercy of winds and thermals, firing up their propane gas mixtures to exercise a modicum of control in an otherwise unordained flight. And yet what is at once deterministic is also tossed to the whims of triggers and events that remain unpredictable. 1,001 faces and hands are at work molding our destiny, whether it be inside of an organization, our individual fates, or the macro entity of the organization itself, encapsulated with the collective paths of many. Are we equipped to become animate lighthouses, searching with our long arms of probing lights, casting light to discover shores of destiny among the foggy terrain of our voyages? Reflective conversation, action and motion, flexibility coupled with strength and alignment of purpose will be some of our greatest allies. You see, stories operate within these dimensions to help us keep our fragile vessels afloat. May I show you how?